Have you ever been so excited for a game to come out only to buy it and not play it for nearly 2 years after its launch? But it's okay, because the moment you play it, you finally realize you just played Alisa has always been a game that has enamored me ever since the moment I played its demo a few years ago. The moment I finished that demo, I just knew I needed the full game in my life. And I bought it pretty early on in its life cycle when the game got its first sale for like 10% off. That's when I bought it, and for some reason I just never loaded it up. And I'm so mad my stupid little brain forgot about this game for over a year, because I just finished my first playthrough a few days ago during my Halloween month of gaming, and I am in love. A few things to know about me is that I am a huge horror fan, a huge survival horror fan, and to be more specific, a huge old school survival horror fan. Resident Evil 1 Remake is one of my all-time favorite video games and simply my all-time favorite survival horror game. And I've always had a lingering feeling in my chest that we would never, ever see a new gen survival horror game perfectly replicate old school survival horror. And that is not to say that the many new gen survival horror games that I've released that want to replicate the old school survival horror are bad, because that is far from the truth. I mean, hell, one of my favorite games in recent times is Signalis. This game is a love letter to old school survival horror, but even a game as perfect as Signalis has its modern twist to it that will take you away for a moment and make you realize you are playing a game that has released in recent times. Alisa, on the other hand, I truly believe is the most perfect replication of old school survival horror we will ever see. Alisa has you play as an elite royal agent named Alisa. And while chasing a wanted criminal, some things happen and she ends up in a dollhouse. And I want to get this out of the way, I'm only going to be showing the first few minutes of the dollhouse, only because one of the things I loved about Alisa was being introduced into every new section of the game completely blind, being blown away by how all the environments look and the OST and everything. God damn, this game's amazing. This being a replication of old school survival horror means you will get the old school survival horror experience. So you will have your things like fixed camera angles, tank controls, scarce ammunition and health to find around the map. There is also a good amount of puzzles you will be solving throughout your time in the dollhouse, some very easy, a few very challenging ones, and a few very awesomely unique puzzles to solve. I loved a couple of the puzzles in this game and how you had to solve them. It was super cool. You will start to do some backtrack in mid to late game where you have to go back to the early parts of the house to unlock areas that were previously locked to you, which for me personally, I never mind, because when a map is this perfectly designed, I get excited to visit the old areas again just to rehear the music and re-fall in love with its design. I cannot stress enough to you guys how much I adore the map of this game. I love every single area of this game. I think it all looks so beautiful, and it is aided so well by its OST, which is haunting, beautiful, majestic at points, whimsical at points. Right after finishing the game, I went straight to YouTube to listen to the whole OST and just add it all to my playlist for video game music. I love the OST. Even the voice acting was done purposely the way it was to sound super cheesy like it used to sound, and it was done so well. My hats go off to every VA that worked on this game. You guys did amazing. I mean, just listen to this. The moment I first heard voice acting in this game, I knew right then and there that these people that created this game were not playing around. They wanted everything to be like old school survival horror.
Shan, what are you doing?
I swallowed my cure-dent.
Are you okay?
Go, Alisa. Don't let him s'échapper.
Here, use the rat signal in my backpack. Don't worry, I'll catch him.
Moving on, let's talk about enemies. For the same reasons as I said about the map, I won't be showing you the enemy designs, but I will talk about them. They all look amazing. There are many unique designs. There is one enemy that is a recurring enemy throughout any part of the map that is genuinely scary to run into, and there are also many amazing bosses to fight and look at, because everything in this game is just fucking eye candy for me. Combat is very simple but fun. It gets the job done. Like I said, the game has tank controls, or you have the option to use analog stick for movement. Aiming and shooting is very much the same as Resident Evil 1. There is a surprising amount of weapons to play around with in this game. You unlock even more in New Game Plus, and they are all super fun to play around with. A lot of mods can be bought for Alisa, all giving very specific buffs for her, which I personally did not buy any because I wanted to get a specific ending, and in order to achieve that ending you could not use mods at all. If you want to dress Alisa differently, there are many outfits in the game to buy, each having their own buffs and sometimes debuffs. There's a story to this game that is so intriguing and interesting that it makes you want to learn more the moment you finish the game. There are a few videos out there that dive into the lore and it is genuinely interesting stuff. Look, okay, listen. This game just has it all, okay? If you're an old school survival horror fan, just play Alisa for the love of God. This game is simply a masterpiece for its genre. And with that, I'm going to end it there for myself, because for me to get further and further into this discussion, I would have to start getting into specifics about the map, enemies, and all that, which I refuse to talk about because I really want you guys to play this as fresh as possible like I did. So I will end it with this. I have nothing but appreciation for the developers of this game. I cannot wait to see whatever they're going to make next, because you can tell anything they will touch, they will put a lot of labor and love into it, and I hear that the developers are actually a couple, so that is really awesome. It has been a while since a game has made me feel this nostalgic so soon after finishing it. I mean, it's only been a handful of days and I already feel this nostalgic for Alisa. I feel very happy, very warm, very cozy whenever I think about this game. So do yourself a favor and play this damn game. And also stay safe, take care, I love you guys, and I'll see y'all soon.